you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that maybe. Let's talk about life.
We should have recorded that.
We weren't recording?
I'm recording now.
Bobby, you gotta just always record.
I know, we should be really following around each other for many things.
Know.
Never know. Okay, Aaron.
Genius ideas happen all the time. Bobby D.
Here we are.
Yeah, we are.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, friends of all ages. Here we are at the Raise Conference, and this is Raise Nation Radio, presented by Heart of the Gala podcast. My name is Bobby D, and I have...
And I'm Aaron. Look, I'm putting a little bow in my hair. You can see the video. It's super cute.
Super cute. That's right. You can follow us on YouTube. We are a podcast and a video podcast. But yes, we are here live, recording live from
the Raise Conference.
The Raise Conference presented by
so
One
cool.
Cause.
This is our first time. I'm excited.
I'm loving Raise Conference. What?
So, Bobby, I guess, well, they don't know. This was a last minute decision for me. I know some people look forward to this all year long. I now will put it on my calendar for next year.
Yes.
Wow. Awesome.
We're coming
way
back.
better than I expected. And it was a last minute decision because I just needed to light a little fire in my soul for fundraising galas. I know that we do them all the time, but summer is, it's that summer fade for kids in school.
Yes.
I was feeling that for fundraising galas. I'm okay, I'm getting back into season, but what's hot? I don't even, where am I besides the beach? So, lighting a fire by being surrounded by like-minded folks.
Yes.
And talking about what's happening, how we need to fix things, and by being surrounded by people that believe that the world can be better and that they can fix the world and they just need help. I love it so much.
There is hope yet.
This
for
is
us
my
all.
favorite thing about nonprofits.
Yes. Yeah. And that's me too. That's why I love working with nonprofit professionals, because everyone knows that what they do matters and truly can change the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we're at Raise. What's been the buzz on the street? What have you been seeing? What have you been hearing?
Obviously everybody's talking about AI. Is it the thing you just hear about all the time? I love it. It's
is AI going to take their jobs?
I came in here not even thinking about AI, and now it's all I can think about. It's winning. It's doing a good job.
Can fundraising MCs and auctioneers and consultants use AI?
So there's a really awesome guy here who, what does he do? He does all the AI. He's got an AI company or something. I don't even know. And actually, I asked him to be on the podcast because I think what he has to say is so genius, and I don't understand it, so I think he needs to explain it to more people.
Make it very simple?
He can make it in depth. I just want to understand. He needs to tell us more, so we're going to have him on.
Okay.
But in the meantime, he told me, don't worry, my job is not going to be replaced because I'm an auctioneer on stage, and so a computer can't be on stage and be me yet. But
I am a computer.
I have a blog that I wrote about AI the use of AI for silent auctions.
Link in show notes.
Yeah. So there are ways to use AI. And one of the things that I think was really cool that they talked about is that AI's job is to do the grunt work.
Ooh, yes.
It's to do the stuff we don't want to do so we can focus our time and energy doing the good things that we need to do.
Do the dirty work.
Yeah. And then I was just in a seminar about social media and nonprofits, and they talked about using AI also in here to do, again, the grunt work, the ugly stuff, to help generate posts and blogs and things like that. And I just think it's really fascinating. But using it to write your silent auction descriptions
and live auction descriptions.
Right, but you and I both feel very strongly about raffles and silent auction. They're not our favorite. Stop. Right, they're not our favorites.
But we have to be realistic, though.
They serve a purpose.
That they're there for a purpose.
I'm not saying don't do them. I'm just saying they're not our favorite things to talk about, right? But the reason is how much time and ROI that it takes.
So if you've got a computer that can do a lot of that, then it saves time and ROI, and you can actually...
our development director should be talking to major gifts and all these different things that can be happening and sponsors, and instead they're typing up this is 4 sets of dishes, and no, have an AI do that. You do the valuable work that only you can do, and let the grunt work be done by the AI. And I think that's fantastic. And yes, okay, live auction also.
Yep.
There are so many things that could be writing for you, so that again you can focus your time on money-making, world-changing activities.
Relationships. That's something that I'm finding and I'm seeing that's happening here at the conference. It's all about relationships. So yes, AI is the grunt work, but it's fundraising comes down to relationships and truly building those authentic relationships from events. And I mean, that's why I love Raise, because it's really talks a lot about events, but it brings a lot of other elements and kind of meshes them all together. And it's relationships. It's people working with people to solve problems.
Yeah, I mean, that's what nonprofits are in general.
In general, yes. I was having a conversation with someone last night talking about nonprofits that bridge the gap from the problem and the solution, and then nonprofits are that bridge, literally the bridge in the middle that really make it happen. And then the donors are the ropes that hold the bridge up.
Yeah,
they're the ones that fuel that solution. So, Aaron, talking about other sessions, I was just in a session that was talking about how you can engage your board of directors and volunteers more within your event. And there's some great things that really came out of that, talking about getting them involved with the brainstorm session about live auction items, getting them involved with the planning, a little bit of the planning, not a lot of the planning, just, a little bit, but putting ownership upon them, putting ownership on the, on their being a part of the event, putting their names on the invitations, putting the names of the board of directors and the committee on the website. So when people see their names, they're like, oh, they are actually a part of that. And then when your name is on something, you're going to make sure that thing is good.
True.
Yeah. Yeah. So that
Bobby, one of your skill points is board activations. I mean, this is like a big thing that Bobby cares very much about and talks about a lot.
Very passionate.
In fact, if an event is not as successful as he wants, he just stomps around going, but the board!
The board! What happened to the board? The board. And that was actually one thing that happened in the session. They were talking about pre-event, what you can do to prepare the board and have the board involved in the pre-event stuff. And they're like, okay, now we're going to talk about the post-event. And I was like, time out. Hold on a second here, people. We forgot about the actual program. We forgot to talk about the actual gala. Like, what does the board do while they're at the gala?
Oh, you know what I just thought?
What?
Do you remember League of Their Own, where he gets out and he waves his little hat and goes back into the pitch?
Yes.
Like, that's what the board's supposed to do, right?
No.
Like, sit there and scratch during the game.
Do
you know that scene? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do. I know exactly. He's like, come out and sway my lips. Yes.
Right. And then when you see him get engaged and involved, what happens?
Oh, everything changes.
Everything changes.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, like when he goes out on the field and starts kicking dirt on the umpire, totally. That's exactly what it is. And I guess that's what we're saying we need to get the board to do, is to get dirty at the gala.
And be engaged. Yeah. Because, oftentimes people will just feel like they just brought some people to the event and then the job is done.
Right.
But like, those people have to have an experience. So you're in charge of their experience there as well. Yep. And that can be, you can talk to your development team about how that experience will play out before the event, after the event, like that. They can help you help your guests and love your guests. But like, they need to be prepared. They need to know who's going to be there. What do they need to be loved? How do they need to feel it? And how do they need to learn about your nonprofit?
Right.
I think that's really important.
Like, what are the bullet points that they're sharing?
But like, I think, how cool would it be if a board member brought some people to the event and they said, listen, these people are really emotionally driven. They're really relationship driven. They're really science driven. Like, these are things that they find really interesting, so that then you are armored with the information. Like, you don't walk up to somebody whose love language is science and then start being like, but there's butterflies. Like, they don't want to know that. They want to know the science. They want to know the numbers. Right? So, like, be armed with what they need. So have your development directors be prepared, which means your board could just, like, set it up for you.
Yeah. And I love that idea of tapping into the board of, like, who their guests are. But I also want the board, again, to get dirty in the event, like in the cocktail connection hour. Like, they need to be out there meeting new people. Like, you can't just be in your own little huddle of your friends. Like, that's, yes, that's your safe space, but you're a volunteer board member. You need to be out there as an advocate and an ambassador and an asker for the nonprofit, especially at the gala in the connection hour. We love them there.
It's not cold calling, it's warm calling. Right? Like, this is an opportunity. It's not like, I know that people get weird and whatever, but like, give your board the information they need. Give them some little cards. Tell them, hey, you need to talk to 3 people. These are the people that we think are important. These are some questions to ask. These are warm-up conversations. Maybe they don't have soft skills.
in the session, they actually mentioned that they need that it's a great idea to send the guest list to the board so they know who's coming.
Yeah, well, I like sending a Facebook.
But like the Meta Facebook.
Okay, well, the name Facebook does not, it comes from what an actual Facebook is, which is back in the day, PR teams would send pieces of paper printed out and had to have a picture of the person and the name and their job description and maybe their spouse. So a CRM of sorts, paper printed out, so that your PR people or whoever is running an event or, you know, politics, however they're doing it, they would know who's there, what they are, who they are. So like, that's what a Facebook actually is.
Actually, yeah.
So in case if you think it's actually just started from social media, there was a Facebook before.
There was
social
before
media.
that. So then to have the photos and the images of whomever's there, so the board knows who these people are, your development team knows who these people are, and it's great for your fundraiser to know who these people are too.
You know, it's interesting to me that people are always like, oh, we have volunteers that are running this event, and we have this person that's doing that, and they're doing, and then you feel like the development director that's like running check-in or something, and they're not hiring like staff to run these different roles, and there's such a missed opportunity there because I always say, we need to be prepared if we're being an auctioneer for the event, we need to be prepared so that you don't have to talk to us the night of the event. I don't want them to talk to me the night of an event.
Right.
Because you have so much to do. And then sometimes you get the puzzled look of like, what do you mean? It's like, I'm just going to be filling the chip bowl. No, like, that's not your job that night. You have a big job that night. Here's your job. Here's these things you have to be doing. And they're not checking. They're not filling the chip bowl. They're not talking to your auctioneer. You have targets that you need to go talk to that night.
Yes. Yeah. And then, putting that list together. These are the contacts. And I love the connect with them in the connection hour, connect with them actually, in the fundraising. I love having the board member as a gratitude, what would you call that person? Someone that says thank you. Like if somebody wins a live auction item, they're like, I win the live auction. And then the board member comes up and like, oh, that was awesome. High five. Thank you very much. High five. Or someone raises their paddle at their table. They can like celebrate the table. Somebody near them raises their paddle. Like, oh, thanks for doing that. Thanks for the support. I think that's a big deal, right?
I think it's a huge deal.
Huge deal. Huge deal. So that's something else that I saw in the sessions.
If you want them to give again or come back to an event, it's important.
Absolutely. And that's like the whole point. Hold on. My ADD is like going off. Do you see that guy's shirt? We got to make a shirt
good.
Just like that. Do
the
good.
Shirt says do good.
Do good.
Period.
That's it. Do good. It's that
good.
simple.
It is that simple.
That's what we're doing here.
Do good.
Doing good. Okay, so Aaron, what else here at the Raise conference really kind of sparked a fire under your ass?
Bum, bum, bum.
Who's
that was
this?
My thinking brain.
Who the speaker person?
Oh, I love your like funny faces. You're trying to like goat me into talking about Siri. She's amazing.
Yes, Siri. Link below. She's super awesome. What did you get from Siri?
I mean, I happen to be in a place in my life where the biggest thing that she said is who you surround yourself with. So that's like a big special place in my life.
Yes.
The people who surround you, push you. And she was talking about her coach and how she hired like the best coach ever. And she was not in a place to have that coach. And she was like, I'm going to have that coach because I will push to be that person.
Yes.
And then she went out and ran with these people that were seriously further ahead of her. And she was like, I have to do better because this is who I'm surrounding myself with. And I think that's really cool. Like surrounding yourself with people that do good.
That's right. And there was some things that she was saying that was talking about be the hero that you want to be in your own story.
I want to be a motivational speaker.
You're gonna be a motivational speaker.
Thanks.
You
That's
already
the
are a
hero I am in
motivational
my
speaker.
Story.
But your story, I know your story.
I know I'm a motivational speaker, but I'm a motivational money person. Like
Yep.
I do motivational speaking to make money happen at doing
Get
an
that
appeal.
money. Motivational fundraiser.
That's really what it is. It's not even just the asker. It's like this motivational moment. Like everybody, I love it when they leave an event, they like feel like, yeah, I did it. I gave. And I'm like, yeah, you did.
Yeah.
I'm okay. Anyway, sorry.
Back to Siri.
I digress.
Yeah. So anyways, Siri works with Tony Robbins. Siri works with lots of other, individuals as their coach, but just the way that she really spoke and the passion that she had and her authenticity by being in the room of other world changers. She's also a nonprofit founder, founded a horse rescue.
I can't talk about that. She said.
We can't.
I'm so proud of the work she's done. Oh my gosh, I can't hear about it though. Oh, my heart. I just want to adopt all the ponies.
Yes. And as I was thinking that, I remember that you have had relationship with horses.
Yes.
Ponies, yes, and how much they affected your life. And I think we got to get back on the horses.
Oh, I like what you did there.
See what I did there? Get
I saw
back
that.
on the horse. Literally.
Yeah.
You know, I've never rode a full-size horse before.
Do you know that freaks me out that you rode a little horse because you're a big dude?
That was when I was a little kid.
Okay, that's great to
Okay,
know.
let's go horseback riding. Moving
But
on.
like, do you know that Long Island has more horses per capita than Texas? That's
Nope.
it. I just broke your brain.
That's a thing.
It's true.
Did you know that Long Island is home of the oldest cattle ranch in the United States?
Why aren't we horseback riders?
That's what I'm saying. We need to be around horses. So that's going to be our to-do.
Thanks, Siri.
Yes, thank you. But there's so many really cool people, vendors, ideas that are being passed around here at Raise. And it's so neat to see
She spoke about social media.
this collaboration. What did
know,
she say
she
about
was-
social media?
She was talking about like, or who's on what medias. She did talk about using AI for medias.
okay, tell
but
me
she
more.
also talked about one of the things she said that I thought was really interesting is that like being polished, it doesn't resonate as much as being raw and real. So like you can send out like just real actual videos, and she said, oh, reels are doing better in the algorithm right now than anything else. So she said send some reels. She said Facebook is still a huge market and less people are on Facebook, so you have more opportunity on Facebook. Hey guys.
There we are.
So anyway, she was pretty cool. She's a TED talker too. She was interesting. But there's so many different, somebody was saying that their group wasn't going to come to Raise because it was only about events and they don't do events. And that is not true. I would
No.
say that it is a fraction of what we are learning
Right.
here. I mean, there's definitely content about events, but no,
It's not all about events.
no.
There is a lot of other conversations besides events. But what I do really love about the focus of Raise is that events start the conversation. Events can start the relationship, and then all of the support and all of the connections that can happen beyond the event are what really lead into fundraising.
I see what you did there.
You see what I did there?
I do.
Yes, making that connection of the things and making the connection with the social media and the videos and the in-person relationships is really what it's all about. Anything else in social media that we learned or that we need to know?
Do it.
Do it. Be raw.
She said YouTube. She said
YouTube?
not enough nonprofits use YouTube to talk about their mission.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so why YouTube?
I think sometimes we just skip over the easy stuff.
You know, that's absolutely right. In the AI session yesterday, they talked about it because they were like, they're like, oh, I want to talk about AI and this and this and this and this. And then they go to the nonprofit's website and there's not a donate button on their front page.
Yeah.
The easy stuff.
The easy stuff.
The basic stuff.
How many times have we had a hard time finding information about the gala on the website?
Oh my gosh, sometimes it doesn't exist. It's like, we're having a gala in 3 weeks, right?
I'll find web pages from like 4 years ago about the gala. Like the 1 year somebody did it, but then they've never updated it. There's no information. There's no items.
Old.
I'm like, what is the problem here? Like,
Yeah.
and that's just us doing research.
You know, and that was one of the notes that I took in my wonderful little Raise notebook that they gave me. Thank you. I love journals. And the basics, like the bare bones of a gala, like what are the things that we have to have? Like what are the basic elements? I mean, you have to have great sound, AV. You have to have a live auction, display section. Like that's a thing. You have
PowerPoint.
PowerPoint. You have to have the PowerPoint has to be
I
completed
have microphones.
and have microphones.
But like there really is basics.
Such basic things.
Like we don't have to go deep level here because it's like people just forgot the basics. Or maybe what it is that people have been like passed on and it's like, oh, I don't know, so and so set it up, so we just always do it that way. And they don't know that like it took time to set it up, and they like just don't know that's the stuff that's there. I don't know what it is, but like go back to basics, folks.
Yeah, and that, you know what, that's something that I absolutely love about this is it's like let's get back to the basics. Let's do this. It's almost like when you were talking about that, it's almost made me feel like the recipe that got handed down from great grandma, right?
Totally.
Like why does grandma cut the ends off of the ham? Well, because she had to get it in the oven, and that was the only way they could get it in the pan. But nobody knows why. And the same thing with nonprofit galas, and especially with the amount of turnover that is in fundraising and nonprofit professionals, is it just gets passed down. And we've always done it this way. And Aren't those your favorite 6 words?
What did they say? It was the 6 words of death?
The 6 words of death. What were the 6 words of death?
We've always done it this way.
Yeah, 6 words of, yes.
6 words of death.
6 words of, yes. Get rid of the 6 words of death. And
Well, or understand why.
Why
I think
do we
you
do
should
this?
investigate the 6 words of death. I think you should deep dive into those words, figure out why have you always done it that way? Like, what is the why? Not just because it's not an answer. Obviously, I learned that in 1st grade. Why? Why do we cut the ends off the ham?
I was just watching your son ask you that same question. Mom, why? And then what do you say?
Because I said so.
See, there you go. All right. But it's that.
But also because I said so is the answer.
That's right. It is also that's the why. You have to have, this is why we need a display. This is why we need sound. This is why we need to have a
I don't
lead
really
gift.
say that's because I said so.
I do
usually
all the
give him
time.
like, oh, I don't. I give him like these really long answers, and then I realize he has successfully won in stalling.
Yes.
He didn't actually care.
No, he didn't. He was just trying not to go to
Stall.
sleep. Stall. All right. Okay. So Raise Nation, one cause. This whole thing is all, yes, about content. It's about learning. It's about, bringing all these vendors and nonprofits together to help continue to push the envelope. But it's more than that, right? Yes.
Yes.
It is
I just started
about
thinking about coffee. It is all about
relationships.
That is what I was going to say.
I know you were. Are you thinking about coffee now
I'm
too?
thinking about coffee.
I know. Well, that's a lot of where our
Do you know
conversations
why?
happen.
Because do you hear how noisy it is? There are a lot of people. This is a break period coming up right now, and I can see people trickling out, and they're gathering around the coffee station right now. So there's
Yes.
connections that are happening. That's really what I was
Yes.
thinking about, honey. I was not thinking about the coffee. Don't worry.
I had a great lunch with a group that is a land trust, and I just sat down and started having a conversation. They start talking about their gala. We start talking about their events. Gave them a bunch of ideas, and they're like, "We didn't know about that."
I've given a lot of ideas.
Yeah.
I've had fun giving ideas.
It's great because that's why we do the podcast, is to continue to put ideas out there into the world that we have, but then also share ideas that we have learned from different things. But again, it does come down to very, very basic things and kind of sharing those ideas. And it is all sharing all of the ideas around here. That's what it's about. And making friends.
You know what would be really cool?
What?
Just to do like an event consultation. Like maybe like a 2-hour event consultation where somebody brings all of their stuff and you just like sat down and opened it up and you just like took a sorb and took the Band-Aid off and dug it out and cleaned it, and then they could go and heal it into this like beautiful thing.
Aww.
So like not just using us as like not being just the auctioneer or just the MC or just the fundraiser, whatever, like not even being that person, like have whoever you have, but like being that consultant for an event. Oh, that sounds dreamy to me.
Don't we do that?
I haven't had one of those in a really. Somebody call me and book an appointment to be a consulting client with
only.
me.
Well, so the individuals that I had lunch with, they have an auctioneer, a professional auctioneer, which is great, and he fits perfectly with their event, with the culture that they have. And I'm like, okay, great, you've got a good component. I'm like, well, does this particular auctioneer offer you a consultation? Like, well, we're going to talk with them before the event and talk about the items and this and this and this. It's like, well, you still have to structure so many things. And I told him, like, I would love to work with you and help to consult to set this up for as successful as possible.
Well, look, you've got, and we've talked about this. Auctioneers are all very different, and not all of them do the same kind of consultation. So you've got to look at it differently. They might consult on certain things, and that's great. That might be the thing that they're fantastic at. I don't think that what I'm talking about is like just auctioneer consultation. I'm talking about like the event consultation, like the show flow, the feel. Yeah, like I just think even like there's just so many levels to it. Who was it we were talking to with the cool bags, remember? And I was like, oh my gosh, I love them so much. They're like, oh, we have a world champion auctioneer. And I was like, whoa, my husband's a world champion auctioneer. That's so cool. And they were like, yeah, and they're talking to me, and I'm talking about how when we do the ask, and they're like, what do you mean you do the ask? And I'm like, well, the appeal. And they're like, wait, what?
What? You do the appeal?
They didn't have their auctioneer do it. They had their survivor keynote do the appeal.
That's what they were talking about?
Uh-huh. I know. But their auctioneer doesn't know how to. He's a world champion livestock auctioneer.
Ah, so you can do the 1 1/4 down now, half out of it, 75 out of it, 2 2 2 1/4 like that.
Yeah, and like stinking incredible at it.
He's a world champ.
He can sell cattle like I can't even think. I mean, so amazing. That doesn't mean he knows how to do that appeal moment, and they maybe never even asked him. That might not be something that like he even knows to do.
Right. But might not be experienced in that. Maybe the nonprofit is smart enough to be like, okay, yeah, that's probably, may not be the right individual.
No, they're like, we have this, we have that. Like, this is what they're going to do. They've got a big live auction. Their community is very livestock based. So having this cool dude there, this great, that fits them. That's totally perfect. I'm not knocking it. But like, I think they just didn't know.
Didn't know.
You don't know what you don't know.
You don't know. And you're right. So that is why we're at Raise, because there's things that we don't know.
But here's the thing. They don't even have to do, like, that auctioneer doesn't have to do the appeal, but I could consult with them on how they could structure a person to be in that position to do that appeal.
Yep. There you go.
Keep your auctioneer, keep your whatever you're doing. Like, how do we improve that? That's what I want to do. I want to find somebody that wants to be a client.
Okay. You're out there. I know you're out there. We know they're out there. They're out there. We're going to do this.
I'm excited.
So meeting people. So we met somebody very, very, very cool. Steve Johns, the CEO of One Cause.
Oh, he signed my book.
He did sign your book. The book Fearless, Leadership Lessons at the Crossroads.
He's so cool.
He's going to be a future guest, by the way, so stay tuned. Future episodes. Steve Johns from One Cause.
Oh.
Yeah, and the One Cause team has been absolutely just wonderful. We've been loving them, and I forget how many of the One Cause friends that we do know. I mean, there's probably like 10, 15 of these. They're different market.
Look, I had them all sign my book, Bobby. I told them it was my yearbook.
It is the yearbook. How cool is that?
So I had them all sign my book. I had to go to the back cover, and you got to tell. Some of them say like, "Fearless fundraiser, fundraise for life. You rock. You're the best. To the moon." Like these are so cute. See you in class next fall. Raise it up.
Nice.
I know. Fearlessly
so cool.
You, BFFs forever, keep rocking, like reach for the stars.
Oh.
They are such cheerleaders in everything they do. And
Love it.
I think that's really cool because it means that your events are being handled by real cheerleaders. And I think that that's amazing. I have not seen a single Debbie Downer at this conference.
No, everybody's been super cool. I love it.
Even when they were jumping on each other's feet, line dancing.
What?
Not a single sad person.
So you mean to tell me that it's not just about fundraising at Raise?
It's also about line dancing.
And fun?
Get it with the fun and fundraise.
That's right. So
get it? We're the fun. They're the raise. We're fundraise.
Oh, I see what you did there.
You're welcome.
That was good.
Let's keep it punny.
But last night was my actual first time taking a line dance lesson. How did I do?
Oh.
You didn't know that?
No, it makes a lot more sense
You couldn't
now.
tell. You couldn't tell. I was so good.
So good.
So good.
Really?
Do you know that we have that video on TikTok now?
I'm sorry. Sorry, TikTok world.
Yeah, but you can follow us, find us on TikTok.
Oh my gosh,
Couple
please.
of auctioneers. Yes, it's happened.
So Ryan Reynolds decided to put Bobby in a cowboy hat.
And?
Bobby has never been a cowboy, and now because Ryan Reynolds told him to wear a cowboy hat to be an auctioneer, he now thinks he should have boots and belt buckles. And
Yeah.
do you have spurs? Are you going to get some spurs?
You want me to get some spurs?
I'm going to go get one of those jackets with a fringe.
You totally should get the jacket with the
need a
fringe.
fringe
You
jacket.
definitely need that. Find me some spurs while we're at it, too.
I think I'm going to auction it off.
What?
Yeah. At the end of Raise, I'm going to just jump on stage and auction it. Like, I'm going to steal the microphone.
I
What do
can't
you
wait
think?
to see that. You're going to have to stay tuned on YouTube for that right there. Oh, my gosh.
I'll do it at the end of the conference so they can't kick me out.
That's right. Conference is done. Goodbye. Super fun. Well, Aaron, we have a couple more minutes here on the episode. Do you have any last words of advice and nuggets that we got from Raise here, people that you met?
You know, I would say there's another conference I think that's like similar to this. I'm not sure. It's like the Sam's.
Yeah, Sam
thing.
Swaim. Yeah, industry. Yes.
I think it's really cool. that
Elevate.
These folks are like really trying to do more and better. And we're doing some seminars coming up in the city, in New York City and maybe in New Jersey, and like talking about that. The thing is, like, we have a lot of information and are really happy to give it. I mean, people in nonprofits, hearts are bigger than their wallets.
Yes.
And they are there to do everything they can.
Yes.
And it fills their soul to help people. And I think that's really important to know. If you're coming to an event like this, you are going to be around people that genuinely want you to succeed in all areas.
Everything.
And so they will literally help you do anything, any way they can. They'll introduce you to people. They'll encourage you. So if you are feeling like, hey, I don't know anybody there, I don't know what to expect in that, it's definitely a lot different than like some of the other events we've been to.
Yep.
It's definitely more fun than a lot of conferences I've ever been
Yes.
to. It's very silly. It's kind of chill. You know, you don't have to worry about being like stuffy. Everybody's like really friendly. And I don't know. I think it's just, and there's a lot of food. They have been feeding us nonstop, which is amazing.
Been great,
There's
yes.
no stinge. It is like lovely.
Chocolate croissants.
And all the sessions are really unique. And there's multiples at the time. So you're not stuck in the same track as everybody else. You can choose your own adventure.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm a fangirl.
Yeah, no, I'm loving this here, and I love the opportunity for One Cause to let us be hosts of Raise Nation Radio in the broadcast studio here at the Raise Conference. So,
I mean, I think too, I'm sorry I interrupt you, but I loved, we got to spend some time with Steve when we were talking about what One Cause provides. And so way back in the day, my mom would actually bring her auction equipment because she sold commercial equipment. So she would bring these huge computers, like these giant computers, these big printers with the circles on the side. Oh yeah. And I was
Kids
like,
these days don't
Mom,
know what that is.
like, we're not checking people out that way. And she was like, no, I gotta check them, cash them out. And it was like the clerk and the cashier and,
and like
stuff.
the
I
old
mean,
knuckle
literally,
buster.
yeah, like they had the cash box. I mean, this is like old school, right? And so I was like, Mom, we don't have the skill set to handle that.
We don't do this.
And then you get an organization like One Cause that comes in and they're like, we can do this, we can help, we can handle this. And it has elevated the gala experience. And when people feel comfortable giving money,
Yes.
either to their auctioneer, either to the credit card company, whatever that experience is, when the money is being transferred, it has to feel good in order for it to continue to happen.
That's
and the
right.
bigger the donation, and groups like One Cause really help you feel good. So the organization, so somebody comes to the event, they're like, oh, they know what they're doing. I trust this. I mean, think about it. Like I said to Steve, I was like, you don't walk into Nordstrom's and use a knuckle buster.
Right.
Like we're not like writing down your credit card number here.
Yep.
You feel like, oh, I'm getting a classy experience.
Right
That
glove
means
experience.
it's like making your gala feel classy. And then you've got the classy person on stage and you've got the elegance. And then you're going to spend more. The higher the heel, the more they spend. Keep
right.
it elevated. Keep it elegant. That's what I like about
That's right.
these platforms.
You know what I liked about Steve the best?
What?
That he had said that the biggest ROI of an event is bringing in a professional fundraising auctioneer.
Oh, you like glittered at that.
I totally did. But to have
It's cool that
partners
he
like
knows that.
that they actually know that. And now I wish every nonprofit would listen to that. and you know, and one of the other like light bulbs that I had go off, especially when talking to Siri, she's like, what is the thing that gets you up in the morning? What's the solution, or what's the problem that you can provide the solution for? You know what it is?
What?
Teaching nonprofits to hire professionals. That's what it is. Stop saving money. Nonprofit is not a business model. It is a
Hey.
tax code.
Somebody told, oh, you're so cute. I love that line. Somebody said the other day, they asked me how they could hire me because of their budget.
Yep.
And I said to bill me as their keynote speaker,
There
bill
you go.
me as their MC,
There you go.
bill me as their caterer, bill me as their music equipment, because apparently they have a bigger budget for a piano rental than an auctioneer.
Which blows my mind.
All right, but like think about it. Like there are budgets that
But-
we can put. I can be any of those things.
We can be creative.
I can
in
be a piece
budgets.
of equipment.
Sometimes you
I
are.
can be an MC. I can be a host. Whatever you got to bill us as, we can make it work.
We
We
can
are the
make it happen.
consultant. If the word auctioneer is the thing that's holding your budget back, scratch the word and call us something else. We will be your Bob.
That's right. Speaking
you
of
can
Bob.
call me Bob. Oh, it's Al, isn't it? Oops.
Oh, sorry. Anyways, so thanks again for watching us. Thank you for joining us here, recording live at Raise Conference, presented by One Cause here on Raise Nation Radio. Again, my name is Bobby D.
And I'm Aaron. But I could be Al if it's cheaper.
That's right. And we are with Heart of the Gala
Not cheaper,
podcast.
easier.
Thank you so much for listening in or watching in. Remember to like, subscribe, hit the things, do the things,
You
share
don't
the
have
things.
to tell them they know, Bobby.
I know they know.
Well, you think you're one of those guys?
The YouTuber like your son wants to be when he grows up?
Yeah, no, even those guys don't need to say it anymore. Stop saying it. We all know.
All right. Thanks again for watching. Spending some time with us. Go out, raise some money, inspire some hearts, and change the world.
All right, but now I feel bad. Do all the things that he had told him not to say, please. Bye.
Bye, everyone.